Have you ever wondered why most brands or companies fail in the first few years? And if you do not know the answer for this, it's completely alright. So, to answer this question, I have done my research and come up with 4 main reasons why they have failed. So, the first thing I observed was most of these brands had weak or no differentiation. Weak or no differentiation basically means your customers do not have a strong reason to buy your product over your competitors. When this happens, you can only compete on price, which will eat away your margin eventually. And the real example is BlackBerry. When the experience of using phones were evolving into touchscreen, Apple and Samsung had differentiated strongly by then and capitalized on the market, whereas BlackBerry failed to do so and eventually lost its market share because they were not able to differentiate strongly. And my second observation was brand scale faster before optimizing for PMF. So, what exactly is PMF? So, PMF stands for product market fit, which is basically the organic demand your product has in the market and where you do not have to spend much on marketing or sales. So, getting back, I'll cite a case and let me know if this company failed due to PMF or something else. So it dates back to 2019 when students were shifting online and so many edtech companies started capitalizing on this, and this was one of the company which started aggressively acquiring customers, then scaling like very aggressively, putting money into marketing, and had a very poor business model. And it eventually failed due to various reasons, and one of the reasons was hyperscaling without knowing the actual demand for the product. And also let me know if it was due to PMF or any other reasons. Like, what do you think? So like, what are other various reasons which eventually let this company fail? So the third observation I made was most brands run on unsustainable economics. So what happens when they scale anyhow? Then it becomes a serious fundamental problem because the cost of acquiring a customer becomes costlier than that customer's entire lifetime value. Because if CAC is consistently greater than LTV for a consistent period of time, then what the company is doing is just burning cash, and eventually it's going to fail if they do not pivot or make any changes. So here's the story of Dunzo. People liked the service, but their economics were weak. High delivery costs, lower order value, heavy discounts on acquiring customers, high competition from deep-pocketed players. So this is what happened to Dunzo because they were not running on sustainable economics. So being a student of business or being a founder, what is it that you would have done differently to save this company from drowning? So let me know in the comments. So the final observation I made was poor distribution and execution. So what exactly happens when the founder fails to distribute their products into the market even with good demand? So what exactly happens is the product just becomes inaccessible, and the retailers will not push your product because there is no brand presence or your product is not present in the market, and there'll be a mismatch between your inventory and cash flow. And also it will become a major setback for scaling. So here's a story of Grofers, which is Blinkit today. They operated on very low margins and they failed to understand the model of tight logistics, and their operational costs were very high, and their expansion just made it more complex and led to unsustainable unit economics. And eventually they had to pivot into quick commerce, and ever since then, they have been successful under the brand name of Blinkit. Thank you so much for staying till the end, and I really appreciate for watching the entire video. And if you're someone who wanted to do an MBA, or you're a student of business, or want to be in the startup ecosystem in the future, then these videos I'll be making is definitely for you. And there'll be a lot to learn along this journey where I'll be building a D2C brand and also doing case studies on multiple brands and getting into the depth of it. And also you'll get to see my documentation of building a D2C brand from zero and learn from my setbacks and challenges. if you're someone who enjoys watching these kind of content, or you're a geek about all this, then this platform is definitely for you. So I hope you hit the subscribe button and leave a thumbs up, and stay tuned until next time.